July 10, 1943. More than 150,000 Allied troops are storming Sicily. Yet German aircraft are still leaving the island to reinforce Sardinia, while troops and weapons remain positioned toward Greece and the Balkans. The real invasion has begun, but parts of the Axis command still fear that Sicily may be only a diversion. Why? Because weeks earlier, Adolf Hitler received secret British plans carried by a Royal Marine officer. There was only one problem. The officer was dead, and he had never existed. Early 1943, the Allies are winning in North Africa and must decide where to strike next. The obvious target is Sicily. The island controls crucial Mediterranean routes and offers a gateway into Italy, but obvious targets are easy to defend. If Germany reinforces Sicily before the landings, thousands of Allied soldiers could die on the beaches. British intelligence, therefore, needs to convince Hitler that the most logical target is not the real target. Not with a public announcement, not with an easily intercepted radio message. The Germans must believe they have discovered something genuinely secret, something Britain desperately wants back. Royal Navy intelligence officer Ewen Montagu and Royal Air Force officer Charles Cholmondeley begin developing an extraordinary deception. Their inspiration comes partly from an earlier memorandum associated with Ian Fleming, the future creator of James Bond. One suggestion is described as not a very nice one. Allow the enemy to discover a corpse carrying false military documents. Montagu and Cholmondeley turn that idea into a mission. The body will appear to be a British officer killed in an aircraft accident at sea. He will carry private letters suggesting that Allied forces intend to invade Greece and Sardinia. Sicily will also be mentioned, but only as a diversion. The lie will contain the truth, hidden in plain sight. The operation receives a name as dark as its method: Operation Mincemeat. The planners need a recently deceased man of the right age. His condition must be consistent with drowning. They obtain the body of Glyndwr Michael, a 34-year-old Welshman who had become homeless in London and died after ingesting rat poison. British intelligence gives him a new identity. He becomes Captain William Martin, acting Major Royal Marines. But a uniform and an identity card will not be enough. German intelligence will examine not only his documents, but his personality. So, Britain must create an entire human life for a man who never lived. Major Martin receives what intelligence officers call pocket litter, the ordinary debris that makes a person believable. Keys, receipts, cigarettes, a bank letter, a used ticket, an irritated note from his tailor. He is also given a fiancée named Pam. Her photograph is placed in his pocket, together with affectionate letters and a receipt for an engagement ring. The details are intentionally imperfect. Martin is not a flawless secret agent. He is careless with money, romantic, slightly disorganized. A perfect identity might look manufactured. A believable man needs loose ends. By the time the work is finished, William Martin has a career, debts, memories, love, and a future he will never reach. The heart of the deception is a personal letter from General Sir Archibald Nye to General Sir Harold Alexander. Written in casual, private language, it suggests that Allied forces are preparing operations against Greece, with Sardinia also threatened. Sicily, the true target, appears only as possible cover. Another letter introduces Martin as an officer carrying sensitive information. The papers are placed inside a briefcase attached to his body. Now the entire plan depends on Spain. Spain is officially neutral, but German intelligence operates there, and some Spanish officials favor the Axis. The British cannot simply deliver the papers to a German agent. That would be suspicious. They must make the Germans believe they have secretly stolen them. On April 19, 1943, the submarine HMS Seraph leaves Scotland, carrying a metal canister packed with dry ice. Most of the crew are told that it contains secret optical equipment. Inside is Major William Martin. Before dawn on April 30th, Seraph surfaces near Huelva. The officers bring the body onto the deck, attach the briefcase, and lower Martin into the water. The current carries him toward shore. A fisherman finds the body later that morning. The first stage has succeeded. Spanish authorities recover the body and the briefcase. A post-mortem concludes that Major Martin drowned after an aircraft accident. He is buried in Huelva with full military honors. Meanwhile, British officials begin a carefully controlled performance of panic. They urgently request the briefcase, warning that it contains sensitive material. Too little concern might expose the trap. For days, the case moves through Spanish hands, while Germany's military intelligence service, the Abwehr, tries to gain access. London waits. One bad medical detail, one false receipt, or one clumsy opening could expose everything and compromise the invasion of Sicily. German agents finally obtain and photograph the letters without breaking the seals. The information reaches the highest levels of Nazi command. Hitler believes it. On May 14th, he tells his senior naval commander that Greece and Sardinia must be reinforced because Sicily is not the principal target. German forces begin moving toward the invented threat. Sardinia receives additional troops. Torpedo boats are shifted toward the Greek islands. The Allies have not fired a shot. A dead man, a fictional fiancée, and an unpaid tailor's bill have altered German military planning. When the briefcase is returned, British experts find signs that the papers were removed, read, and carefully replaced. Intercepted German communications confirm the astonishing truth. A message reaches Winston Churchill. Mincemeat swallowed whole. During the night of July 9th and the early hours of July 10th, Operation Husky begins. Allied ships approach Sicily. Even after the landings begin, Axis commanders still fear that Sicily may be a feint before a larger attack on Greece or Sardinia. 4 hours after the invasion started, Axis aircraft were still being sent from Sicily to reinforce Sardinia. The island was not undefended, but Mincemeat helped prevent Germany from concentrating all forces against the actual landing sites. The Allies completed the campaign in Sicily in 38 days, much faster than planners had feared. For decades, the grave in Huelva carried the name Major William Martin. Only later was the name Glyndwr Michael added to the grave. A man almost invisible in life became part of one of the most successful military deceptions of the Second World War. British intelligence created someone who had never existed. They gave him a life, secret orders, and sent him into enemy territory after death. The most effective courier of 1943 never spoke and never knew that his final journey helped protect more than 150,000 soldiers. True story. Impossible ending. What the? Subscribe to Once Upon a WTF for more documented stories with endings no screenwriter would dare invent. Because next time a passenger jet loses its cockpit window at 17,000 feet, the captain is pulled halfway outside.